So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. As we've got some big news to talk about today. We've got a defender race going on involving a lot of players, a lot of decisions to make, and we'll speak about the players which are taking part in this defender race. We're also going to touch on Shomurodov because we've got some updates on the Shomurodov situation from Gianluca Di Marzio. So I'm going to read you the statement regarding Shomurodov and how Shomurodov could leave in January and how Shomurodov leaving in January could accelerate many deals in the January transfer window. But obviously, if you're new here, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get going. Now, defense is definitely a big word because our defense is not perfect. Our defense isn't shambles, but our defense isn't perfect, and there is always a great there's always a great level of improvement which can be made in every sector. But we've got a defender race. We've got a lot of options to talk about. Thiago Pinto, Mourinho, the Fredkins when it comes to the money and stuff, or speaking about or preparing a list of defenders, which kind of reflects on Smalling, the Smalling situation. An update on Smalling is that apparently his priority is to continue with Roma. Will we see him renewing his contract? I think it's very early to say that. If at the end of the season Smalling really gets the vibe that he's a massive part of this project and can't really say goodbye to Roma because he's just viewed as the center of the defense by Roma fans and by the manager as well, I think Smalling will renew his contract. Smalling's priority right now, said by his agent, is to continue with Roma. However, he's not hiding the fact that if good offers come, he is coming towards the end of his career, so he will try and seek for new experiences, maybe to play one last Champions League or not. And kind of with like everything related to transfer news, our season depends a lot on the players who will stay, on the players who will leave, and all of that. So Smalling definitely plays a big part in this list, because if Smalling was to leave, then we would completely need to take a massive revolution in the defensive section. Smalling has been our leader for past years. Do I imagine, as things stand, a defense without Smalling? No, I can't. Do I need to get used to seeing Smalling not being part of my defense? Yes, I have to, because Smalling will probably play 1/2, maybe 3 more years, nothing more than that. So we definitely have to think about the future. Do we need to think about this future now? Do we think about this future? And much of this does depend on what Smalling decides to do. But this obviously doesn't mean that Thiago Pinto and Mourinho aren't thinking about new options, because Smalling is not only our defender. We've got Mancini, who, yes, is the Mourinho prototype player, aggressive, bastard, but he's a massive liability. And then we've got Ibanez, who's gone through a lot, who's gone through a massive confidential growth, confidential boost. But at the same time, especially in big occasions, he does seem to, again, fall under too much pressure, become a liability. Look at that Lazio game and that. So our defense isn't perfect and it has to be better. Kumbula, speaking more defense, will definitely leave in the next few months. Will it be in January? Will it be in June? I don't know, but I definitely think he'll leave in one of these two transfer windows. The options are a lot. These obviously are just options. We're at that stage where, yes, we have options. Thiago Pinto's jotting down names, but it's that stage where we have to think, we have to plot, and we're still not in the financial side of deals. No money is involved. Just brainstorming, ideas, and all of that. And we've got 3 main defenders. The first one is DICKA. We talked about DICKA as well. And DICKA has kind of fallen in the background because apparently some sources say, as Sven is saying in the chat, he has agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Is it true? Is it not true? Fabrizio hasn't confirmed it. Di Marzio hasn't confirmed it. I don't know. I definitely think he's closer to Arsenal than Roma, but it's not a complete cut-off. I definitely say so. It's fair to say we can add him in our list. Will he be there? Will he not be there? Then that's another discussion. I want to drag the attention not on DICKA though. I want to kind of take you away from DICKA and move you to our second option, which is HINCAPIÉ. And I am very proud to say that HINCAPIÉ should be our first priority when it comes to these three defenders. HINCAPIÉ is a fucking beast. He is something insane. He currently plays at Bayer Leverkusen. Again, his contract is about to expire soon at the end of the season. That is why it's very unlikely to see him in January, just because as things stand, especially after the World Cup performance, he is an Ecuadorian national team. He's valued around 30 to 35 million. And knowing the Fredkins, knowing the kind of financial fair play mess that we're currently in, we're not going to spend 30 million on one single player in this January window. Look at the amounts of trials that we're having to kind of push the price tag lower when it comes to Fratesi. So the financial fair play is not making things easy. And I've said this already. You know, people think that it's just a matter of ownership. It's not. Financial fair play does lay into this as well. HINCAPIÉ, however, should be the one to point out for. HINCAPIÉ is very young and will be the defensive future of this club, of any club. If he joins Roma, if he doesn't join Roma, any club you'll join, HINCAPIÉ is a beast. Now, many people know Cassano. Cassano, ex-Roma player, ex-Real Madrid player, who recently has been talking crap about Roma. He's been talking crap about Mourinho, has been talking crap about the way Roma play and all of that. And there's one thing which Cassano said after this World Cup, and it's how he praises HINCAPIÉ. If there's one player which Cassano likes, then you know that it's a good player. Cassano's ball knowledge is worse than a... what? Than a bloody mole. But at the same time, you really acknowledge the importance of this player. He's a leader at Bayer Leverkusen. He's the leader in his national team. I genuinely think we should point our eyes on HINCAPIÉ. And again, I think the centre back is one of those investments where I'm not saying in January, but in June, we will have to spend a lot of money on. If we want to kind of revolutionize our defensive section, we will have to spend money in it. And I think there could not be better money to spend rather than HINCAPIÉ. HINCAPIÉ has been so solid recently, and it's definitely my top pick out of this list. The last one is KIWIOR, who currently plays at La Spezia in the Serie A. But the interesting thing about KIWIOR is that basically every big club in the Serie A wants him. Juventus want him, Milan want him, Inter want him, Napoli want him, Roma want him. Everyone wants him. And that definitely suggests that if other teams, especially big teams, who are planning to win even more, you definitely know he's a good player. The only thing about KIWIOR is that he's coming from an inexperienced side whose big objective recently has only been to save themselves from relegation. Experience, I think, has to be a good shout when it comes to centre backs. We'll see how things goes. I mean, we're just in the talk stages. Again, we're just preparing ideas, preparing information, we're just brainstorming. I definitely think out of the three, and one thing which I'll add about HINCAPIÉ is that we were very close to HINCAPIÉ this summer. HINCAPIÉ was one step away from joining Roma and then he didn't. But that means that Mourinho has been tracing him for quite a long while. That means that Mourinho has constantly repeated to Thiago Pinto, HINCAPIÉ. Let's try and get HINCAPIÉ. HINCAPIÉ would be great. So that's definitely something to note down. But again, talk stages. There isn't, I mean, and to be honest with you, there wouldn't be a negotiation if at the basis of everything you have ideas, you have brainstorming ideas. And that's the stage where we're at. We have 1 week to go until the January window. No, not 1 week. Half a week to go until the January window starts. It's going to be a fun January window because we need players to satisfy Mourinho. We need players to satisfy the squad. So we'll see who will come out for. But it's definitely good. I mean, I like these three defenders. I'll be very honest with you. If our future centre back should be one of those three, I'm proud of this. Now, it could be also one which has nothing to do with these three, but But these are definitely the main ideas. Let me know in the live chat right now who you prefer, HINCAPIÉ, DICKA, or KIWIOR. I think all of them are valid options. DICKA's got experience and physique. HINCAPIÉ's got physique, has got potentials, is a beast. KIWIOR has definitely got talent, definitely unexperienced out of the lot. But let me know who you think, who you would rather see out of the three at Roma, because I'll definitely keep you updated when it comes to this situation. I'm going to touch on Shomurodov, and I'm going to read you this statement coming from Gianluca Di Marzo, because it's a big thing. And it could link with how our January window could kind of result in. This is coming from Di Marzo, literally like less than 1 hour ago. Torino insists on Elder Shomurodov. The former Genoa striker is going to leave Roma, and is the first target for the Grenade attack. Grenade means is like the synonym of Torino. Like we're Giallorossi, they're Grenade, whatever you call it. In fact, thanks to Pietro Pellegrini's injury, Torino is pushing to reach the class of 1995. The Giallorossi striker scored a goal in the first part of the season against Ludogorets in the first game of the Europa League. Roma had doubts about a loan move, but we will see if Torino will force their hand and change the formula after Pellegrini's injury. So, situation is this. Situation is Torino want Shomurodov. Torino are gonna accelerate on Shomurodov because they have Pellegrini, who's one of their main strikers, who's injured. How could this change your January window? It could change your January window quite a lot, frankly. I think what Tiago Pinto is trying to do to then accelerate deals, for example, the Fratesi deal, is selling players. Now, there are talks ongoing about selling Karsdorp, but apparently now Karsdorp has had some peace talks with Mourinho, so he's not on the transfer list anymore. The big player now who could leave in January is Shomurodov. Sell Shomurodov in January. If we sell Shomurodov in January, Fratesi will come in January, mark my words. If we sell Shomurodov, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Shomurodov. If we sell, then we're gonna see a more successful January window. And to be honest with you, Shomurodov doesn't have a future at Roma. So if he's not leaving in January, he's gonna leave in the summer. What does it change? Absolutely nothing. So sell him now, get some profit, reinvest in the summer, in the January window, and improve your squad. Realistically speaking, Mourinho doesn't like Shomurodov. And it's a joke how much we paid Shomurodov. We paid Shomurodov 17 million euros. It's a joke. It's a joke. Mourinho tried Shomurodov many times, and Shomurodov failed many times. So there's not going to be a complete change of scene, a change of dynamics. Shomurodov has followed the wrong path. Shomurodov has shown everyone that, yes, he gives one good impact every 10 games which he plays. Therefore, Shomurodov's going downhill. And the quicker we sell him, the better we'll invest in the squad. So that's definitely the update on Shomurodov. One last thing which I'll add. In fact, let me read this comment. I think DICKA would be perfect for us, but I don't think it will happen. HINCAPIÉ sounds pretty good too, though. Yeah, any of the two would be great in my opinion. I'm actually going to share this little clip, and then we're going to comment on this clip, because I found it on TikTok today, and it gave me goosebumps. And it's about Roma. This is a Roma fan channel, so you know what? I said, I'm going to share this clip with you guys. If you get goosebumps, it's completely normal. Look at this.
Top again for Dzeko, who's in for Roma and scores! Now then, this place is rocking and rumbling and believing. Every day now, for you. Dzeko's not a strong gather. Swept wide by De Rossi, welcomed in by Florenzi. There's Fazio, there's Schick! Oh! Dzeko He's onside again. And Dzeko must be. Was trying for a penalty. He's given it. Which is given. Daniele De Rossi. Within one. Titi away from the pair. Down by Dzeko. Here's Florenzi. In by Florenzi. Kolarov beaten out of the base of his post by Ter Stegen. And they're Roma have risen from their ruins. Nonetheless, the Greek god in Rome. The unthinkable unfolds before our eyes. Comes in by Rakitic, out by Fazio, came to Messi, dancing through is Lionel Messi, the would-be saviour.
Just can't get the ball down, get a shot off.
This is so very, very special. Phenomenal! Beyond reason, beyond Roman reality, and in the end, beyond even Barcelona, who fall? Barcelona fall! Messi falls! Disbelieving! How did that just happen?
So, I want to just share a few words about that. Now, I was at the stadium for that game, and I've got friends who support Roma, don't support Roma, who ask me, how did you feel after that game? And it's very, very simple. The first thing which I'll say is, I have a massive, the biggest regret in my life is not having vlogged that game. Not being part of a Roma fan channel back then. That is my biggest regret in life. Because you see, if I had this Roma fan channel back then, if I had vlogged that game back then you'd probably see a higher subscriber count on this channel. You'd probably see this live chat move faster. But at the end of the day, that's not what it counts. Because the reason why I started this fan channel is very, very simple. It's to show how much I love this club, how much I love this team. And that game, every time I watch a clip which is about that game, I get goosebumps. And I ask myself, is it normal for you to get goosebumps for a game which was played years ago? Well, yes, it is. Because that is what it means to have lived that moment, share that moment. And the big question which we ask ourselves right now, which is a tough question to ask, but the real question which everyone wants to know, which we want to know, is, will we ever live those emotions again? And it could be a yes, it could easily also be a no. Because this club isn't Real Madrid, this club isn't PSG, and I've said this many times, but that could have been the last time in my lifetime that I will ever be watching such a game. Do I think it will be like that? No, it won't. We will be back at those levels. Those were the Roma golden years. That was the golden age. There was that period, that month when we beat Barcelona, which I am convinced about myself, we could beat everyone. There was that month, it was April. We beat Barcelona 3-0, the 10th of April. And 10th of April 2018. During that month of April, no matter who we faced, we would beat. That was our golden ages. That was when that's when we really want to get back to. And everything is a process. We are starting from scrap. In fact, we have started from scrap and we've already built the next level by winning the Conference League. You know, it's fair to say Mourinho picked this team in a mess. And I've said this many times, the way Pallotta left this team was a mess. The fact that Mourinho managed to make this team win the Conference League after the first year of him picking up the team is something unexplainable. Yes, people say it's the Conference League. And what? And what? And it's just, I mean, there's a famous quote which goes, don't think of going from 0 to 100 immediately. You have to go from 0 to 10, from 10 to 20, from 20 to 30, and then slowly you will reach 100. You will reach 100. We will. There is going to be another time where at the stadium, no one understands what the hell is going on. I was sitting in the stands for that Roma-Barcelona game, and the second Manolas hit that ball at the back of the net, I mean, if someone asked me what my name was, I would go, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I genuinely don't know what's going on. And the big objective, and in fact, why did I start this Roma fan channel? After that game, I thought about the emotions that game gave me, and the reason why I started a fan channel is, one, to build onto another moment like this together. Fan channels are all about sharing emotions together, sharing seasons together, living seasons together. But the other reason why is I want to make people who aren't necessarily Italian, who aren't necessarily from Rome, I want to make them aware of this club. It's the club I love. It's the club which has given me so much, which will give me so much, and it's just mental what a football game can give to you. So it's a process, but we have to trust this process. I mean, I'm going to say this again. I am convinced that if any team played us in April 2018 after that game, we would have beaten them. We were that good, but we weren't good because we were more talented than the opponents. Because of one thing, because of the unity of that squad. And that, I think, is the basis of everything. So, and that's why supporting Roma doesn't only mean, right, I'm heading to the stadium today, okay, and after the game I'm heading back home. Supporting Roma means having revolutionary bets with your friends. In fact, I have established a bet with my friends. I have established a bet. It's a group of 3 people, me, my friend, and my other friend. One of them is a boy, one of them is a girl. We have a bet in place. If Roma win Europa League, I'm gonna turn blonde. I'm gonna dye my hair. My friend is gonna dye my hair. And my girl, not my girlfriend, my friend who's a girl is going to get a belly piercing. That's it. If it happens, we're doing it. No one gives an absolute crap. Because you know that it doesn't happen every time. It rarely happens. But when it happens, you have to take advantage of it. And well, people right now, especially haters who don't believe in trusting the process, after my comment right now is probably going to go, oh well, that's never going to happen because Roma's not going to win Europa League. Well, I agree with you. Roma is not going to win Europa League, but would you have predicted Roma to get semi-final of the Champions League in 2018? I wouldn't. I don't think. No one would. Not even God. So what I'm trying to say here, this sport is one of those sports where anything can happen. absolutely anything. And trusting the process step by step is the key to success. So yeah, I didn't want to get emotional in this last part of the live stream, but it is. I mean, when it comes to Roma, it means this is what it really means. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the link of my channel with your families and friends, and yeah, rewatch that clip and let me know in the comments how you felt after that game. If you're a Roma fan, if you're not a Roma fan, if you're a casual fan, how did you feel after that Roma against Barcelona 3-0 win? That is my question to you. In fact, my question is, how many of you here followed that game? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading and responding to some. I've watched this commentary and moment back a million times. That gives me goosebumps every time. I mean, yeah. Sometimes I always cry. Almost 5 years after, I almost cry after that game. Am I delusional? No, I don't. No, I'm not. That's just that's what being a Roma fan means. So, yeah. I'll catch you soon, lads. Simon, out.